All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having yourselves a fantastic, I guess it's Tuesday here today, and are feeling refreshed, recharged, excited, right? After yesterday's trading day. And just generally hope, right? Everyone's feeling good, kind of feeling confident in their trading, right? And yeah, no real complaints here across the board. What I want to talk about a little bit here before we start is just like how you actually build confidence as a trader, right? I touched on a little bit in this in an email yesterday, but kind of the idea that like you don't get confident, I don't think, by making money. Like making money makes you overconfident and makes you kind of like dangerous to yourself. But there's a sweet spot before you hit that like euphoria stage where you're probably trading at your best. You're feeling or you got the most trust in your system, is probably the right way of describing it. And you feel a lot more confident, right, in just your ability to execute your technique. Those feelings of, I'll call it true confidence in this context, don't come by basically not handling adversity, right? So it's making mistakes, it's dealing with drawdown, it's then seeing new all-time highs in your portfolio that should make you a confident trader, right? It's effectively surviving mistakes, seeing that the world doesn't end after a red day, and then you make new all-time highs and keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And I think that's a really important thing to acknowledge. I think it's something that a lot of you should be very proud of here with your trading, of how you've bounced back over the last, we'll say, week or so now, of just been green every day, consistent every day, making money every day, and not breaking rules, right? So I think everyone deserves like a little collective pat on the back or a golf clap or something along those lines. But I want you guys all to know that you should feel very confident about how you've traded. You should feel very confident about surviving your trading, right, while still keeping access to your accounts and making new highs. And that's the process, right, that we're constantly kind of in. We're always in that kind of pseudo cycle. And the only, I guess, like guarantee or the only absolute in trading, right, is that our next loss is coming. It's around the corner. Hopefully not today, but that's the reality, right? So we're going to make a million mistakes over the course of our careers. We're going to have a million losing trades over the course of our careers. And I think you guys have all seen that it's not a big deal, right? That it happens, that it's a part of the game, that learning how to manage yourself and your expectations in those moments is a skill in itself. And then building to new all-time highs, creating a buy the dip, right, in your personal accounts, and getting through those tough periods. That's where the real money is made here in trading. So maybe a little bit scatterbrained talking about that. So hopefully the idea or the core concept kind of hit home. But for me, that's it's probably the most satisfying thing to see. So really well done, everybody. Deserve your flowers here this AM. And let's not do a victory lap here today. Let's make sure that we're focused and sharp and ready to go. 24-hour rule applied to our trading like always. So yesterday's big win is yesterday's news. Simply don't care about it here today. And we're going to look to see if we can take advantage of a little bit of momentum this morning. Now, I would expect, based on the economic calendar that we have here today, that it's going to be a little bit of a probably slower session, right? We've got PMI data 9:45, no big deal. We got Trump speaking at 9:50, potentially a big deal. And then we've got Powell speaking here at 12:35. And then Trump speaks again here later this evening. So it's a little bit, a little bit of a wild one. You might just have to refresh. And yeah, so hopefully we can get ourselves a little bit of momentum before the new stuff, or like, you know, the headlines get in the way here today, or get in the way in an unpredictable way here today. So let's see if we can get ourselves a little bit of juice or a little bit of action and some good enthusiasm here. You know, probably base expectation that today's maybe a little bit of a slower day relative to yesterday. Yesterday ended up being pretty good little trend day, right? All things considered, we ended up closing, well, like here-ish, right? And then it ended up running for a little bit longer, almost like retested our entry price and then went. So pretty nice type move. But yeah, let's see if the market, or what the market has in store for us here today. So yeah, let's first things first, right? Yesterday, decreasing volume, green candle, gap up. So we're going to call this a 2 out of 3 to the upside without volume. And always a little bit concerning to get, yeah, such an impressive higher high, right, on whatever. Yeah, Austin, I think we had that discussion yesterday. Should be able to just watch on YouTube, right? But yeah, not exactly a huge amount of strength. Like if I were to think that we're breaking out, making new all-time highs, establishing a narrative, I kind of, you know, expected that to have happened on with a volume support. Not having the volume there for sure is a little bit, it's surprising is probably the right term. To the upside here, we're looking 67.60. Obviously, if the volume's back. And then, I mean, 6,800 probably is the realistic target here. Okay. And then to the downside, we're looking pre-market low, theoretically, 67.40. 67.45 actually. So probably go 67.30. 67.20, and then we'll go down basically to Friday's low, or sorry, yesterday's low, which is 6,700. The thing that maybe is a little bit different today versus yesterday, right? So yesterday we had a pretty decent sized gap up. Markets were giving us a lot of overnight action, price action, then settled in for like the first hour, and then it broke out. Today's maybe a little bit of a different scenario. We've effectively got no range overnight. There was no enthusiasm here overnight. So historically, when we do see that, and historically is like a 3-month look back period here, big gap ups tend to lead to muted moves, then continuation. No gap ups kind of lead to potentially an early breakout, and then calm down, and then continuation. So let's see. I was fighting a sneeze there for the last 30 seconds of that. All right. NQ. So green candle yesterday, right? Decrease in volume there yesterday. And then this morning, it's a gap up because the candle is green. So we're going to look at that as, again, 2 out of 3 to the upside without vol. And we're at 25,000 here right now. So starting point is going to be 25.1. Again, I would think that that probably gets covered by the DTR indicator, and then we'll just have it mapped out like 500 points at all-time highs. I'm not really being too picky about the levels that I'm choosing. Yeah, really is not that important to me. Basically, these are in the way to slow me down, right? Not chase like absurd profit targets, and then just to make sure that I have a repeatable like risk reward process to get there. 99% of my trades, right? I'll say 90% of my trades, my profit targets are going to be based off of the daily volatility as established by the opening range indicator. But yeah, we'll have to see from there. So I don't really know what to expect from the volatility here this morning. I keep trying to think about that. And the more thoughts I get, I guess, the more it makes me feel like it's going to be a very slow session. So like if that's the intrusive thought that's rattling around in my head, right? The idea here is to like visualize what slow would actually look like, what trending would actually look like here this morning. And the thing that I guess like I keep going back to is seeing a more impressive volume standard that we had there yesterday, and then bigger range than what we had there yesterday. That's really what we're going to be looking for off of today's open. And if we can establish that, I'm going to have a little bit more confidence that we're probably not going to get chopped to death here by price action. And then if we don't get that, right, where we get decreasing volume, yada, 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 I'll probably know that it's a market waiting for the Trump and Powell comments. And we'll go like 24.5 to the downside. Again, if we get more follow through than that, I think we're all going to be pretty stoked. But yeah, we'll be able to map that out when we get there. And yeah, just as a general team, right, on Discord, sometimes like it has to like reload or it has to like refresh. So if you've been in it for a long time, or I don't know, just whatever, Discord's got its own little personality. Just refresh it. It should always start working. I've got visibility on if my mic works, so most of the time I'm pretty good at checking it. But yeah, that's generally the fix 99% of the time. All right, CL, the old crude oil. Kind of looks a bit like a fake out there yesterday. Yeah, if that's the case, John, the YouTube right is there and the Discord audio. So just sync up the YouTube video with the Discord audio and you'll have no issues. All right, so yesterday, red candle, decreasing volume, really big gap up. So 1 for 3 there to the downside. Still possible flag. Okay. And then bull case here. I guess it is in play, but I'd maybe be a little bit skeptical to chase that overnight move. And we're looking, was it 63.12? So we're looking at like 63.50 up towards 65. And then to the downside, this would probably be more what I'm interested in. Be looking for a move down towards 62. So we're at 63 right now. So we'll go 62.50. And effectively just like looking for like a mean reversion thesis, right? So there's that 61.50, and then we'll go like 61, which would be a big move if it happens. So yeah, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, Apple, 1 for 3. Keyboard's driving me nuts. 3 for 3, weak, 3 for 3. Microsoft, inside bar. Amazon, 1 for 3. NVIDIA, 2 out of 3 with vol. Really good breakout on NVIDIA. What a psycho. AMD, 2 out of 3 without volume. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, Meta, 1 for 3. Netflix, inside bar, double inside bar. Triple oh no, double. Getting excited there for a second. All right, and then Google, green candle, gap up, or sorry, red candle, gap up, decreasing volume. So again, 1 for 3. And then the old Vixaruni hanging out just under 16. So looks okay. We'll see how how it behaves at open here. Any questions, team? How's everyone feeling? Good. Love to hear that, everyone. So again, we're looking for good size opening range here today, right? Bigger than yesterday. The yesterday was like 25 to 29 points ish. Oh, yesterday was 37. Okay, a little bit bigger than maybe I thought. And we're looking for a decent volume profile, right? Yeah, I think the Trump comments today, him speaking at 9:50, is going to be. I mean, there's no way to not look at that as like a speed bump at the very least. Like it has to slow us down, right? Trading into unpredictability is fun to a certain extent, but it's usually expensive. This is something brought up to me yesterday, and I wonder if there would be any interest in me tracking this. But on my or in my trading journal, right, I don't track or I don't add anything. So in this one, right, I don't add anything on days where I don't get a trade, right? So this is only all my trading days for the year. It's not necessarily all my streaming days. Would there be interest in me tracking those non-trade days, or are you guys kind of happy how it is? Very small range on ES, by the way, very, very small. So, I mean, obviously, like those days where I'm streaming, well, the why guys would end up being no setups, right? Like that would be the why. But yeah, if it's something that you guys would like visualize, I'd be happy to start adding that. Yeah, fair, Mike. Yeah, fair. It's honestly just something I'd never thought about before. But yeah, if there's interest for it, I mean, it's an easy change. All right, so let's see. Back up above 25K. Not the best. Again, like was it 5.25? So not a huge range, not huge volume, less than yesterday. Bit of a fake out on the 20-point range is pretty baby. Very weak close on the 5-min, very weak close. Like realistically, all things considered here, I'm not going to get a trade before 9:45 for sure this morning. PMI being red folder dropping in 10 minutes. Just don't have the time effectively to get the move that maybe I'm expecting. Even yesterday, right? Yesterday was a very short trade, but we were in that for 10 minutes. Let's see. Hmm. Good to hear, Jerry. Yeah, I would agree. I feel like sometimes the days where I don't place a trade are often my most like probably the maybe a little bit aggressive describing it that way, but that's kind of the general idea. CL maybe would be the most interesting to trade early. Divergence between ES and NQ, which I generally don't like. That's an indication of chop. But NQ is theoretically setting up as a breakdown here to the downside. Like we have our setup on this candle, right? The setup is a breakout under or through the opening range or away from the opening range low. We're missing confirmation on that narrative because there's no increasing outlier volume. Oh yeah, so Chris, we're talking about the same thing here. So like it's a good setup, but there's no confirmation. There's a chance that this third candle of the day could give us that look. But at that point, I would rather just play that same thesis on the 5 min, right? And then not have to worry about the data drop at 9:45, right? So like the 5 min looks really similar. I mean, this 5 min second candle has a chance to give us increasing volume, which doesn't happen too often and would be a very good indication of trend day to the downside. Yeah, this for sure is a setup lower, but for sure no confirmation yet, and effectively waiting to see how markets react at 9:45. Too much headline risk to take a short or to take a long because the violence of that potential fake out could be very infuriating. I was going to go fill up my cup of coffee, guys. Be back in a second. All right. Well, now it looks like it's a reversal setup, right? That coffee break changed a lot. So I think best things for sure to wait, right? We've seen, I want to say call this a failed move. Yeah, it's still a lower low, still a lower high on decreasing volume. Like it's not a textbook reversal scenario, but telling us maybe that the market is waiting, right? All right, so 4 minutes to go here. Yeah, we're still gonna have to wait though, guys, right, for that 9:45 data. So the deterrent here isn't the price action; it's trading into that headline risk where the expectation of getting my follow through towards my profit targets is very limited. So it's just a part of protecting yourself, right, to avoid chasing moves into scenarios where you're likely to see potentially a reversal, right? And if things break down in the next 4 minutes and we continue to see that momentum and the data supports our thesis in our direction, then we're going to set ourselves up for a much larger move, right? And bigger follow through. So I would really implore you to not chase this price action just because you think it's selling off or because it's going down. That's part of it, right? We only want to chase or trade moves that follow our rules exactly. We've yet to have that combo of characteristics in general anyway. This would be our first candle that would be like viewed as confirmation, but we've got 3 or 2.5 minutes total data drops. And so the expectation of getting paid or getting the move that I want in 2.5 minutes is pretty much next to nothing and not worth chasing it. So I'd rather wait, set up, and go from there. So 2 minutes here. Better on ES starting to match, right? Less of a divergence, which I think is very optimistic or very positive, I should say. It's a very good chance that this 5-min candle is going to set up for us as a confirmation. And so we'll have an opportunity to potentially trade this breakdown here. We still have about, $1.20 to see how this thing closes and if that volume can get there. But it for sure is a good start. And remember, your job as a trader isn't to try to catch every move. It's to catch your move. So price action is going to behave a million different ways. I only need to know how it behaves in one way to make a lot of money. So don't try to be jack of all trades as a trader. You're just going to end up tricking yourself into taking plays you don't want to take. And chasing price action just because it's moving quickly is a very expensive lesson. It works really, really well until it doesn't. Just be very deliberate, team, right? This is not a game of who can make the most money. It's who can survive the longest. Seems unlikely that we're going to get increasing volume there on that 5-min. So we'd be looking at this from a 3-min perspective. Almost view that as like a low vol pullback type scenario. And let's see if we can get a reaction to PPI. And not a huge move in either direction there. So I'd be targeting 900, right, as my starting point to the downside. Got about 50 points. Probably look like this. So stop loss would be 964 in that range. And I would go like reference price to be 953. Short, right? Short. Okay, be careful here. Slow down. Okay, potentially the fake out. I'll push up to 967. I'll probably look at something like that, right? So very, very tight then. And so watching here closely, right as we get up towards 962, well, 5 points of risk. So very, very tight. Okay, watching. Hey guys, I am in average price 963, stop loss 968, 3 contracts. Sorry, just micromanaging that for just a brief moment. I just got stopped out. It did just get stopped out on that. Let's potentially try that again. Minus 330. Again, we're kind of just playing the fake out thesis. So 972 here would be the stop. I'm call it 973 stop. It's a bit unlucky. Maybe we'll try this again. Kind of just looks like a bear flag, right? Let's just focus here, please. Yeah, very unlucky with that shakeouts mean. Yeah, so still in business here, right? Still in business. And as it pulls back here, right, we've seen one fake out, two fake outs. Maybe we get the hat trick. So as this thing pulls back, I'm not clicking submit right away at that blue line. I do have like a little terminal thing up. That shut it off. All right, sweet. So again, watching here, guys, watching. I didn't hear anything, so apologies. Some background data tracker. Gross. All right, let's focus though. So 973 is what we're looking at here. And again, kind of expecting a little bit maybe of a fake out opportunity first. $50. All right, so let's see. 5 seconds on this candle to close. That for sure looks like the fake out again. So let's see if it's got one more in it. Oh, mean. Nice work, Mike. All right, let's see. Needs to close under that blue line. 30 seconds. Let's see. Oh, that 963 stop outs. That's mean. Would have been really nice. Right on the cusp. Let's just wait for this on the 3. Nice work. Good work, everybody. Love to see the quick little bounce back. Fantastic. Again, that's the whole point, right? First trade maybe wasn't the best outcome, but we kept our loss very, very small. And that's extremely powerful, right? It makes it so much easier for you to win. Okay, so we'll be looking at like this, 965-ish for now. The 10 a.m. data is not red folder, so I'm less worried about that. The PMI at 945 was red folder, so not too worried. Red folder stuff, I want to go always be like out of trades minute before. Everything else, less. I care less about. So I'd be looking like at something like this. So it'd be a 951 stop loss. Entry would be a retest of 943, which maybe seems a little bit less likely at this point. Could also maybe do this here from the aggressive perspective. So that would be 946 stop loss, entry around 938. That's very interesting. So stop is let's call it 947. Just keep the math simple. And we're looking at a 38 or better. So this is kind of in that zone here now. And just give it a second here. Find a rejection, right? Hey guys, I am in, kind of got a nasty fill. 939.75, 939.75 short. $939.75. Again, 3 contracts. Okay, let's see if we can keep breaking down here. So far, so good. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. So we can get that next leg to really push it. I'd like to see this thing flush towards 900 with enthusiasm. Let's see if it's got it. That feels less interesting. Okay, I just got stopped out again there. Dumb. Or annoying, I should say, not dumb. It is now setting up, though, as a little reversal scenario. So let's see if that is in play. It's now minus 770 on the day. Kind of a fake out, too. Oh, it closed red. Very interesting. I mean, this feels like this sets up as the fake out type thesis here again. Kind of a stubborn trade. You'd probably want to see a fake out above that 52. Or alternatively, just see it break down right away. Classic. I don't know, feels a little bit dumb to have gone, well, it doesn't feel dumb. It feels annoying to have gone stopped out short twice when it's kept running lower. It feels a little bit, I don't know, unnecessary. Absolutely. Go enjoy your day. That's beautiful. Okay. So 9:53 stop. All right. So watching here. Okay, is that potentially the fake out or is that the reversal? Okay. So this is what I want to do. Here's my volume confirmation. Here's my candle strength confirmation. And I'd like to do something like this. So let's see if this thing can a little fake out, maybe find some support. Probably don't want to go in too far under 950 on this reversal to the upside. Okay, so watching here closely, guys. Not yet. Let it be chill. Hmm. Okay, so I am watching here a little bit. Stop would be 939. Might have just missed it. You can also do this 949 stop loss reference price. I'd like to go like 959. Okay, so I'm watching carefully here, guys. It's moving too fast inside that entry zone, so I'm going to wait. Feels like it's going to be fake out then move, or in this case, fake out then breakdown potentially, which would be like this, right? Which is not super appealing. Fuck, that looks like another sell off. You're looking at 941. Okay, there's that fake out under our confirmation. Could we? 937. Oh, fuck off. Okay, is that bear trap there? Looks like it could be. Pretty aggressive bearish failure there, that, right? Wow. Very impressive. Yeah, and I could still work off of this as my confirmation. All I'm trying to find right now is like just the tightest risk reward that I can find. Okay, so stop would be 950. Five min would look like that. So you'd be looking stop loss 937. Hey, great entry. Still trying to find mine. Okay, so again, watching here closely. Oh, we've had a really tight stop on everything today. Everything's been like less than 10 points. So good to hear. Good close. All right, trying to find as tight of a risk reward as I can find, guys. 953 stop for now. Okay, watching. Okay, guys, I am in 957.25. Stop 953. Maybe too tight. Yeah, I got stopped. Too tight. It's just gonna do that stupid fake out thing, isn't it? Fuck. I hate that I have to try this again. I'm gonna wait for this. Might be able to get a tighter risk reward. Again, that's my key element here. It's annoying, but it's important. Okay, so again, 956 would be the stop. Okay, is this the fake out? Let's see. To be 953, 954, 950. This is just getting annoying. Okay, we're looking at 949. I think it's just dying at these highs, or it's just like consolidating at these highs. So it does feel like it wants to go, but it doesn't feel like it wants to go yet. is maybe a bit annoying. I'm sitting on $1,000 down. So very much still within one trade here, but not quite finding my wins here today. Or keeping, I've gotten shaked out twice of what would have been a nice win. Oh, I'm not supposed to see that as a fake out. Yeah, we're looking at a 938 stop loss, or sorry, 937 stop loss for now. Okay, still watching here. It looks less and less like a fake out, right? So I'll be waiting again. Oh, kind of infuriating. It's really annoying. Like again, it's a fake out, but I can't really get an entry off of it. This is about peak annoyance. So inside the Discord, Jason, there are a bunch of videos that show you how to sell short. In your execution window, it means clicking sell instead of buy as an opener. What we're working off of, guys, right, is these 10 a.m. reversals, because price action hasn't really deviated right away from that. So this continues to be our signal to the upside. So we're just looking for a tight risk reward to continue trading this thesis. Price action has basically just been stuck. So we're looking for a breakout, right? So we do already have the volume base. We have the confirmation of our thesis. That thesis has not been invalidated. We just have not been able to find easy entry. I mean, this would have to be it. So 954. So now it'd have to be 952. Very reasonable. In 948 would be the stop for now. Hey guys, I am in 954.50, stop loss at 948, 3 contracts. Oh, come on. Kind of feels like it's stalling again. Come on. All right, guys, I'm out. I am out. I am out, out, out. I'm going to potentially try this again. And that was an exit at entry price. 54.25 by the looks of it. So I lost commissions on that. Got very nervous on that retest. I mean, it did survive a worst case scenario, which I think is positive. Again, don't get paid for being early. At the very best, I felt early. I just have these time frames set as favorites, Earl. I have them set as favorites. Look, if you go to the time frames, you can see the ones that have stars are the ones that show up. Okay, so I feel good getting out for now. Annoyed though a little bit. Okay, that would have been the stop. So good decision. And again, is this a little fake out? 946 would have to be the stop. I'm trying to get really tight risk reward, be either green right away or out right away. That's kind of the thesis we're looking for here. Hey guys, I'm in 953.25, 3 contracts, stop loss at 46. Oh, come on. Okay, better. Less better. Come on, get over 60. Come on, keep pushing, keep pushing. Over 60 is what we want to see. We want to break out from that consolidation, right? Those wicks. We want separation above and through. Come on. Oh, hate that reaction. Come on. Better. Come on. Keep pushing, baby. Doesn't feel like it wants to go. Last chance saloon here for it. Go. Okay, much, much better. Oh my gosh. And chill. All right. So let's see if this thing can now really pop and give us some follow through here. We've cleared through that zone, right, of indecision. So we'd like to see this now be a rocket ship effectively. All right, that should put you green on the day. So now let's see if this thing's got some more juice here. Fuck me, guys. We have to work today. Sorry about that. Not my intention. Come on, a little bit more juice here. 9:42. It's been a working man's day. How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling okay? Okay, guys, my average price is now 958. I have pyramided into this. 958 average price. That might have been a bit too aggressive. Let's see. Don't like that retest. Hope everyone got out of that, right? Before this thing pulled back their entry price. Please tell me everyone got out of that. Ended up giving back about $500 from the 1100 I was up. It's a bit stupid, but back in business. And it kind of looks like it's another fake out setup, which is annoying. Yeah, that pyramid was too aggressive. I should have taken profit on that 70 touch instead of looking to add in. So I gave away too much profit on that, which is annoying. I let a green day get back to being a red day. So we got a little bit of work to do here. That's the time here. It's still early. Can't still shake the feeling that it's still like a buy the dip market. I think you're really annoying. That's beautiful, Eric. Good job. I'll keep it one trade away, right? That's always the objective. Yeah, I for sure feel like I should have finished green on the day after that trade. It's a little bit feel a little bit dumb for giving that up so easily. Lesson learned, chicken burnt. On to the next one. See, the reason why I'm like, I guess, talking myself into bears not being very strong is every time we get to increasing volume, they can't push and make new lows, right? So it just ends up looking like consolidation. Yeah, I'm like minus 546 on the day. It's very doable. But I would like to find a signal I can trust. That's maybe where I'm having some difficulty. Yeah, I mean, the whole move seems like it happened before PMI, pretty much. Kind of annoying. How's everyone else? Everyone else green? Everyone else near green? How's everyone doing? We locked in profits there, please. Yeah. Yes. Good job, guys. Beautiful. Okay. That's very reasonable, Ghost. Nice, Felicia. That's really good. Beautiful. 1,200 bucks is awesome. Yeah, it's still good risk management, Chris. Still one trade away. All right, Mike. That's like within a couple points to me. Not bad. Yeah, I feel dumb for not closing there. 975. Yeah. Because I'm down like 546, right? It's called 550. $200. Every trade we've taken here so far today has been tight risk, but 3 contracts. So you're looking at a net difference of 5 points, right? On the day, something like that. Nice work, Mark. So from 4 trades, your P&L difference of 5 points on 8 entries, 8 exits. That's not bad. Yeah, it seems stuck. 20% down to test 900. Or you mean 20 points down? Like I mean, it would be. I mean, that's kind of what I would have expected at the start. But the fact that we've been like holding off of that and not really wanting to touch it, that for me is probably the bigger concern, right? It's been like 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts to get down there in earnest, and it's not really done so on any like enthusiasm, right? The amount of indecision we've effectively seen for the last hour and 10 minutes probably indicates that the breakout to the downside isn't the path of least resistance, because why hasn't it happened yet? Bulls also can't seem to like find their cojones to a certain extent, so it does slow me down on that action. Hey, Vicky. Always the paradox, Nick. Worth journaling, right? Your rules, what you think your trigger, your reason why that you like convince yourself that breaking them was the right thing to do. And then I would recommend taking like a dopamine detox for the rest of the day. Don't place any further trades. Don't torture yourself with paper profits. It's just going to make you feel worse. Okay, I mean, we're back in business here potentially. On the pullback, you'd want it maybe there-ish, 55, 56. The stop loss there, so call it 46 stop loss. I'd probably prefer the aggressive. So 63 to like 60 or 56. Let's see. So we're at 46 stop loss. 946 long. Watching here closely, guys. Watching here closely. This might be the fake out opportunity here. Like we've seen so many fake outs. There it is. So now you're looking 945 stop loss. And let's see if we can get a little bit of separation away. Now you're looking 944 or whatever. It's got to close as a fake out. Let's see. It did. Huh. By the skin of its teeth. If you're looking at 942, we'll call it. Okay, guys, I am in 945, stop loss 941, stop loss 941. I don't know if I like the feeling of this right away. I'm still in, guys. I am still in. I have maybe more size than I should on this. Five contracts on this. That's why I'm maybe a little bit nervy. Yeah, guys, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. All out, guys, right? Not in this anymore. Not in this anymore. Just listen to myself talk, right? I said I felt nervous. Click exit. Nervous, click exit. So I'm going to try again, get impartial. That did make me back about 150 bucks. I just don't want to go down with the ship. It's the worst feeling in the world. And I think it's the right call. This would have probably stopped me out. Yeah, right decision for sure. That was definitely the right decision. All right, one sec, guys. Be right back. All right, so still fighting here. Still fighting. Again, we're going 937 would be the stop for now. Again, we're just looking for fake out entries here, guys, right? Fake out entries where either we're green right away and we can have a buffer and we can protect, or we're out right away like on that most recent trade, right? Why we're keeping our risk very, very tight. Okay, so again, we'd be looking at a 933 now. So fake out first, we want to see, right? And then jump in once the fake out has occurred. He didn't hold it though, did it? Oh, no, kind of did. Interesting. I mean, this theoretically is telling me still think it's a fake out thesis. Even if you're just doing that, 932. Hey guys, I'm back in 935.75, stop loss 932. And again, I have 5 contracts on this. There it goes. There's 500. So I haven't had a chance to write this one out yet, guys. I apologize. This thing's just moving much faster than I expected. But this is exactly why we're trying to do that fake out entry, right? That's the exact reason right there. And just really tight risk, right? Really, really tight risk. Beautiful. Oh, I have to fucking work today. If it's got one more leg in it. I'll get over 50. Come on. I'm starting to lose some confidence in this. Come on. Hey guys, I'm gonna look for my exit here, looking for my exit here. I'll get over 40 and I can get my exit. Come on. Sweet guys. All right. I'm out, all out across the board. Exit price 941.25. Exit price 941.25. I think you're gonna have another chance here added if you missed it. Let's see. No, maybe not. Hopefully you guys got out. Hopefully you guys got out. Well, maybe it's going to come back again, 941. Surprisingly stubborn setup. There's 941. There you go. So $550 on that. Again, we will potentially try this again. Ugh. Stressful trading day. Or I shouldn't say it's stressful. It's a working man's trading day here today. We've had to work for a living. Again, same thing we'd be looking for on this continuation, right? See it fake out first, then go. Everyone feeling good? Everyone alive? Everyone green after that, please? Of course, we closed it too early. But yeah, everyone green? Yes? That one was $550. So I'm like up a little bit over $160 on the day. Again, we'd be looking at something like this. You'd like to see the fake out first. Okay, so there was the fake out, right? To 945, we'll call it. And I'll watch again. We got a little bit unlucky, I think. Again, this is our confirmation here. Fake out lower. We're just looking for a really tight risk reward. Same thing we've been doing all morning, right? We've been working for a living here today, which is rare. Okay, so we're looking at a 950 for now. Oh, man. Got it. I didn't get to hold on to that last one for just a little bit longer. We're looking at a 954 reference price here. Fuck, might not get it. Mean. Yeah, I mean, this would have been a monster had we held. A little bit unlucky, but that's okay. Again, I think it would have probably stopped us out before it moved anyway. So the only way we would have made money holding on to this 64 would have been by breaking our rules, which is not particularly scalable, let's be honest. So now we're just looking, right, for a good risk reward entry. Same thing, same concept, same thesis that we're still looking for here. And if we're using the evidence, right, we've used or seen in the last couple candles, it's fake out and then quick move higher. So we want to be really watching that initial fake out get established and then look to purchase once that fake out has been put into place. Got to also fight the like emotions here, right? There's no reason to overcomplicate things here or to rush it. If you're green and you're happy with your day, go enjoy your day, right? You're not going to miss out on anything. I probably ended up having just a little bit too much risk on this. 5 points. I could have gone 5. This probably should have been 4 in hindsight. Okay, there's potentially that fake out. Oh, maybe more. Now we'd be looking for a fake out through our confirmation candle, so under 950. This reference price on the pullback would be like here. Okay, so again, see if we can get that fake out through 950. Or maybe it's just a fake out through that inside bar low by the looks of it. And let's see. Okay, there it is. So 949.25. Call it 949. Ah, come on, go under the blue line. Okay, try again. Ah, it's so ruthless. The exact right idea, just didn't want to give us that little last little pullback we needed. That's mean. Oh, that was ruthless. Yeah, so again, we're still in business here. Okay, there's potentially your fake out. So you're looking at a 959 reference price, 963. Okay, so watching here carefully. Why is it now that I can't find an entry? All right, still watching here. Hey guys, I'm in 963 on the dot, 963 on the dot, stop loss 59. 5 contracts here. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Come on. Spread still hasn't crossed, guys. Spread still hasn't crossed. Still in this. This isn't behaving how I would like. Come on. Okay, it's gotta go here. Gotta go. Gotta go. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. 64 out. 64 out. So, profile X, right? And same for you, Chris, guys. I would recommend watching the video stop loss techniques to avoid getting faked out inside the how to trade with DTR or start here section. It talks about how you want to set your stop loss to be stop loss plus the spread, right? So the spread has to cross for me to get stopped out. I don't want to get stopped out when the buy price is at my order, because that isn't the stop loss that I am doing. Right? So I would really recommend watching that video when we are playing in these like really tight range bound markets. That's going to be a very important technique for you guys to be aware of. That information and how I set my stop loss, how I executed all these things has been covered to exhaustion inside the Discord. The video is literally called How to Avoid Getting Faked Out. Right, so really important, guys, right, that we review those things. I use that technique that I described in that video on every single one of my trades. The exact same thing every single time. It's stop loss plus spread. So if I'm long, I don't want to be getting out when the buy price touches. I want it when the sell price crosses through, right? And opposite if I'm short. So please, guys, right, review that material. It is very important. Realistically, I'm not going to have the ability to be able to explain that technique before each and every single trade, because it's going to take too long, right? I'm going to miss too many entries. So please, guys, review that video. It will describe everything in as much detail as you could possibly desire. And that video has been public for like a year and a half now. So please, guys, please, please, please. And we're sitting on a nice little green day here. I mean, nothing crazy, but had to really work for it today to be up $500. Good work, Mike. That's really impressive. Send me your trades today. Let's see where the difference is. So, does everyone understand, though, what the spread is? Everyone understand what that means when I say that? That's a very important concept. So the spread, right, is the difference between the buy and the sell. So if you look at if you bring up an order window, right, the buy and the sell price are different. They're not the same thing. So if I'm looking to get out of a position, I want to make sure that the right side or the correct side of the trade is what's stopping me out. I don't want to get stopped if it just touches my price on one side. I want to get out when all price has crossed through my side, if that makes sense, right? So the spread on NQ is usually between, we'll say 1 and 3 ticks, right? So when it's like today, we're usually about a 2-tick difference. So when you see the sell price of 958, right, or whatever our stop loss was on that previous trade, the buy price to get out isn't at 958, right? Or whatever the stop was, it's at 958.50. So I would still need to go down 2 more ticks just to get stopped out at the price that I want, right? So if I allow it to on a touch of the price, then I'm getting stopped out 2 ticks before my stop loss price, which is not the price I want to exit at. So for us to enter or exit a trade, yeah, Chris, I am, right? I'm trying to get stopped out at 958 or whatever the number is, but on the correct side of the spread, right? So I'm still getting stopped out at 958, but I'm selling to close when it hits that, or I'm buying to close, right? So I'm just making sure that my buy price when I get out hits that number, which is the same number as the number I call out. But the way that I type that in or fill that into my order entry window requires to understand that technique so you can fill it in appropriately. So it is not that I am calling out and getting filled at a different stop loss, guys. That is a very unfair mischaracterization. It is I'm waiting for the spread to cross. I have made you a video on how to set up your order window for that same reality to be yours. It is now your responsibility to use that process appropriately or to be consistent with your entry techniques. So I am not misrepresenting you on what my stop loss is, or I'm not baking in the extra ticks. I'm getting stopped out at the price that I say. But this price that you see here is the most recent executed price. It is not a reflection of what the spread is or where the buy and sell are specifically. But we really need to understand how price action gets discovered. This is very important, guys. Like just as a base statement, right? If I didn't know the price that I was getting executed at or being able to know the price I was getting executed at, I would have been fired very quickly, right, from my hedge fund job. So we all need to know and have confidence that we are getting stopped out at the price that we say, or we get out at the price that we say, or we enter at the price that we say, and we don't introduce effectively slippage by sloppy execution. Hey, love to hear that, Danica. That's really positive. And that's honestly the experience with everyone, right? Trading is a very technical game and it can be pretty intense. And I can be pretty intense in talking about it here sometimes. But it's that repetition. It's that good muscle memory, right? It's proving to yourself that you can do it. That'll build that confidence. And yeah, that's really encouraging. Being up 2,700 here today means that you have managed your P&L exceptionally well, and you should be very proud of yourself. That's awesome. It's weird. The market hasn't moved really for like, I don't know, hour and 15 minutes, bit longer even. Hour and 45 minutes. It still feels like there's some volatility in here. Hey, nice work, Mikey. Kind of an annoying green day, but a green day nonetheless. Trying to see if I can find some sort of justifiable trade here. I'm not super convinced I have something. We've effectively just found a range here, right? Kind of seems like the market's just stuck in that. And ES might be breaking down here. It would have to hold under that. So spread, right, on ES is 1 tick. So I don't want to be doing this when the sell hits that. I want it when the buy hits that, right? Okay, so here we'd be looking 743.50. Let's see how this thing behaves for a second. And might be a fake out first. Didn't like how it got gobbled up there right at that low, right before it can make a new lower low. So here, just bring my paper trader. This is important for us to see, right? So see the difference between the buy price and the sell price? It's going to hit 743.50 first on the buy. I don't want to get out at that price. I want to get when this crosses 743.50, when the sell there, right? That would have been me getting stopped out on that tick above. You guys understand? Stop loss plus the spread. I don't know how else to make it more clear, right? I really don't know how else to make it more clear. Well, look, right? Look at what the spread is in the moment. You're looking at your order entry window as you're entering that trade. Look. Because I really do not understand why this is so complicated. I'm interested in this, but I'm having trust issues with this. I mean, I would love to be able to trade that. Yeah, if we could, that would be great. Look, the other thing, guys, I want to stress with this stop loss thing, because it always drives me nuts when it comes up, is it's going to be a difference on like 1 or 2 trades a month. And everyone then tries to overcorrect and change and do all these things and like do all these things to like revamp their entire execution strategy because one trade they got faked out on that I stayed in. It's like $150 on that. The reality with your stop loss, right, and how you set your entries and how you set your execution, it is do the same thing every single time. Find your technique and be comfortable with the pros and cons. No technique is guaranteed to prevent any fake outs or scenarios where we all get trades. It's just going to be a part of the trading experience is you are going to get faked out. It happens to everyone. You cannot solve to never get faked out. That solution simply does not exist. So in your execution, find what is easiest for you to avoid making mistakes, to avoid complicating yourself and going through these things. The technique that I use is available to you all. So if you want to use that, please watch the video, go through that process, learn those techniques. But the difference is going to be 1 trade a month, guys, 2 trades a month. Like out of 1%, right, of our decisions that we make, that's going to be the difference. So is it worth for you to overcomplicate it and to stress yourself out and to try to change everything and to feel as if you don't understand what you're doing for 1 trade? No, right? So please, guys, do not overcorrect to a single day's worth of data, a single data point, a single trade. Be consistent with your approach because if your technique isn't working, it is the consistency over the long period that makes it easy to know what you're doing, right? And what needs to be fixed. But if on 1 trade, we're doing this technique, on 1 trade, we're doing that technique, on 1 trade, we're doing this, on 1 trade, we're doing that, we're just going to confuse ourselves because we're never going to realize the patterns that make or cost us money. So that's why this stuff drives me insane because it is so meaningless, right? I know maybe it doesn't feel like that in the moment, but we got to get away from this like judging ourselves on a single day's worth of outcomes. It is not helpful. It does not make you any money. It does not make you a better trader. So we need to optimize our decisions to be able to be consistent over a long period of time. And you need to be selfish in deciding what version is a perfect for you, right? So if you didn't comprehend or didn't understand that this is how I set my stop loss technique, it really isn't a big deal. Said it's going to be the difference between one trade a month, maybe two. So please, guys, right? Don't overcorrect. Be consistent with your approach. Do the same thing every single time. You will feel a lot calmer. And like I said, the odds, if let's say hypothetically, right, stop loss is at 949.25, right? And you've got yours filled at 948. I got mine filled at 947.75. If it touches 948, the odds of it touching my stop loss too are like 99.9%. So again, please guys, keep the main thing the main thing. Focus on things that are actually important. And don't be surprised, right, when sometimes you get faked out. Shit happens. But we're going to turn that molehill into a mountain. It's impossible for me to do my job. So we're looking for a reversal scenario here, right? Bounce off of a low day, call it like a double bottom, increasing outlier volume candle. And we've immediately made a higher high, so we know we're looking at the aggressive entry technique. Like I say this to everybody, right? But you will make a lot more money learning how and doing what is best for you, not trying to be me, right? And I'm gonna make a lot more money trying to be Michael versus trying to be Brooke or Mikey or Chris, right? So we all need to be selfish in how we choose to execute trades and how we set things up and how we manage those things, because how we react and where we make mistakes is going to be independent to us, right? Unique to each individual trader. And your job with your trade execution is to not self-sabotage yourself. So you have to be selfish in figuring out what that process is. I cannot do that for you. And I cannot try to mold you into something that you are not. I think the number one factor that determines how good your trading psychology is how calm you feel about your execution process, right? If you've got a billion ideas rattling around in your head, you're just going to feel that anxiety when you're trading. And so if you're picking between this technique, that technique, do this, do that, you're just going to confuse yourself. Guaranteed. And once you take a trade from that position, you're not going to make any money. And we also need to shake the idea that there's this holy grail or this perfect technique or this unbeatable idea, because that simply does not exist either. The way that you make money trading is by avoiding your obvious mistakes. And that doesn't mean you guys are trying to avoid my obvious mistakes. That means trying to avoid yours. And just understand that no matter what you choose to do, you are solving for like 70%, not 100%. So stop looking for absolutes in areas where absolutes do not exist. Like, it's also like no one complains, guys, when I get stopped out and you guys make money, right? Like, look at all the people here who on the first couple trades of the day all were finishing green. No one complains. Well, when I get stopped out, or when you guys get stopped out and I don't by such a minimal amount, right? Everyone complains, and they're like, why? Why is this so different? There's just pros and cons of everything. Learn how to manage them, learn how to live with them. It's very important. Well, the main at that point, right, with 15 micros, your commissions are just going to be very expensive, right? Right. So is that clear, guys? We understand that. It's very important to me. Like, no one here is putting a gun to your head and telling you have to place a trade. So your responsibility is to feel comfortable with what you are placing, right? I'm for sure still interested here, guys. I am for sure still interested. But I kind of want to see a fake out first. Right? That's how we've seen things get paid here today. Okay, there it is, potentially. Let's see. Yep. And now I'm looking for a pullback. Oh, you motherfucker. Come on. Okay, so still just waiting, still just waiting. Still need like to move 5 points lower. Yeah, I'm kind of paranoid about a potential fake out here continuation because they didn't really Like on the fake out, it kind of just bounced, right? Didn't really sustain and hold. So let's see, right? We're going to have a potentially another chance here to jump in on that fake out opportunity. All right, so there's that lower low. Now you're looking at 944.50. Okay, guys, I am in 948.50. Stop loss 944.50. Yeah, Chris, you're not going to be 90 seconds. You need to make sure that the YouTube is up to speed, man. The latency on YouTube is not 90 seconds. Any of that type of latency is on your end exclusively. So please make sure that your live stream is set to live. And failing that, right, please make your viewing speeds to be 2x. Okay, I've just been stopped out. Potentially trying this again with that fake out thesis. It'd be a 941. All right, guys, I am back in 943, 943. Stop loss 939. Okay, there we go. Much better. Okay, there's 500. So let's see if this can keep going. What a fucking day. All right. Keep pushing, baby. Come on. Get over 50 now. Get over 50. Beautiful. Now hold it. Come on. Come on. I would like to see a pop here, right? Towards that 60 handle at the very least. There we go. Every time I say there we go, it dies. Okay, last chance saloon here. Come on. Who's still in this with me? Anyone? Let's go. Hey, Victor, are you still in here? Victor, are you here? Okay, so I know we have a call booked, right, for right now. We'll jump on once this trade is over, okay? Sorry about that. I think I have to get out here. I'm out, guys. I'm out. I am out, guys. I'm out. Hopefully that is very clear. And I think this could potentially set back up right on that little fake out thesis again. There it is. All right, so you'd be looking at a 37 stop loss. Let's see if it holds. I didn't quite close as a fake out, so I would be very patient here. I would think another fake out lower probably happens first. Working man's day here, working. Again, we're waiting fake out lower, right? And then possibly watching for the entry here. Okay, so there's that fake out. And this continues to be my confirmation, right? This reversal continues to be my confirmation. Okay, so we're looking at a 936 stop. Okay, guys, I am in 938, stop loss 936. Okay, guys, I'm out. I am out. Exit price 938.75, 938.75 exit price. I did not like the reaction. Okay, good decision. Sorry, hopefully I gave you guys enough heads up there. But it just felt like it was stalling immediately post-entry, which I don't like. So now, right, what we'd be looking for here is a fake out through low of day, or, right, we'd be looking for a breakout through low of day. And I'm just stacking up little base hits here, right? 50 bucks here, 100 bucks there. It's adding up pretty nicely. Kind of a weird day. I feel like I've taken a lot of trades. A lot of like, honestly, just small bullshit stuff. I am green on the day. Yeah. Up like $406.14. All right. Here's that fake out low. 927 would be the stop loss. Okay, again, let's see. I think we've had here today, Ghost, right? We've had a lot of trades that have been like closed within 1 or 2 points of entry. So I'd say win rate today is a very deceptive statistic. Okay, and at this point, we're probably now looking just for a breakdown thesis. Be looking like that. So 928 stop loss. Short this time, guys, right? Short. And again, kind of watch for the potential fake out, right? Okay, we'll trade this on the 5. Same thesis. Just maybe a little bit more likely for me to get an entry. Because now you're looking at a 924.50 stop loss. A bit higher, actually. 925.25. Okay, higher still. Now 927. Hey guys, I am in average price 922. 922. This might be a quick stop. Still in. Oh, just got stopped. And try this again on the potential fake out there. Okay, guys, I'm back in 926. Stop loss 929. 5 contracts. That's immediately $500. Keep hanging around that number here today. $926, guys. $926 short. Okay, so we can flush through 20. Come on, break, 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 break. Here we go. Come on. Okay, there's 1,000. Every time I do a little P&L victory lap, I give away P&L so fast. Come on, flush through. All right. Ah. All right, well, I got stopped out on that. God damn it. All right, that's flat on the day. Now we got a long setup. Oh man, this is annoying. Hey guys, I am in 929.50, stop loss at 926 long. I don't know how I didn't finish green on that last trade. That was stupid. Nice work, Charles. Hey, push, 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 push. That's 700. I got to not be an idiot and actually take a win this time. Too many trades have had up 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 to then close them for like a $300-400 win. And that sucks. It's like a little bit of greed, I think. Again, Victor, very sorry, man. Sorry about delaying our call here. Okay, guys, average price is now $932.50. I've pyramided in. There it goes. Beautiful. I'm going to look for my exit here, guys. I'm looking for my exit here post pyramid. There it is. Boom. All right. I am all out. I am all out. 942. 1750 on that trade. 1750 on that trade. Putting me to 1581.57 on the day. And I'm taking that and running, guys. I am taking that and running. Oh. Woo. Have one green after that. A lot of bullshit today. A lot of bullshit. Oh. Yeah, everyone green? Let's go, Chris. Well done. We had to really fight for it today. The fighting for it today, though, guys, was self-inflicted to a certain extent, right? Because there were so many trades that I had here today where, like I said, I was up $1,000, $500, whatever. Didn't take those trades, let those either go small win, small loss. And that made things a lot more difficult than it needed to have been. So a little bit of self-sabotage here today, but not catastrophic. And then that self-sabotage, right, is what prevents you from trusting your thesis once you're in a big win. And yeah, could have taken another $2,000 out of that probably. Oh, yeah, but I'm a little bit stressed. Had to work really hard today. Oh, but everyone's alive, yeah? And yeah, sorry for not making today the easiest session here, guys. A little bit of a dirty one here today. Oof. How much are you down, Chris? You had a 2K win. Something was very wrong before that. Okay, that makes sense. All right, guys. Any other questions here? Any other questions? Go final call for questions here, guys. Final call for questions. Oh, yeah. I feel very tired on the day. Can't type. All right. So we took a lot of trades here that were the same thesis, guys. I'm going to classify those as one trade. Right. So like there were a couple attempts, right? We took on the same fake out thesis, for example. I'm not going to count one scratch win, one scratch loss. It's going to be a net position here. That means we took 9 unique ideas this morning. It's a lot. 4 were wins, 5 were losses of those ideas. What a really good trading day. We did a really good job keeping our losses very small. And that was very, very positive here today. and kind of a unique session, right? We were going pretty big position sizing with like 5 points of risk, 6 points of risk, 10 points of risk. And that really kept us in the game. So I really liked that today. But yeah, though in the run up to this day, right? Like these 6 days or 5 days before, much calmer than today's trading day. Today straddled the chaos maybe a little bit too much. Oops. All right. So, yeah, all things considered here today, right? Would have made a lot more money if I was more protective of my like first 2 or 3 wins. I think the P&L here today is a little bit deceptive because it wasn't as good of a like execution day as maybe the P&L indicates, which is why in my journal, right, I wanted to mention that basically my mental capital was exhausted by the time of placing that trade. I think to a certain extent, I probably overtraded here a little bit too much today. I was like a tad pot committed to finishing green after seeing a lot of green early, seeing that green disappear, and then like wanting to see it back. And so I think first, to a certain extent, not my cleanest of trading days. And I think you guys probably heard it in my voice throughout the trading day a little bit here today. Yeah, I think that's a really fair point, but really good trading day. Stoked to be green and to be like stacking them up. But I'll take it, guys. I for sure Yeah, and hopefully it's a little bit smoother. So final call for questions here, guys. Final call for questions. Victor will jump on in 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. And yeah, good trading day, but more difficult than it should have been. That's the assessment here today. All right, so final call, final call, final call. All right. So same deal like always, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up outside of market hours. I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, have yourselves a fantastic trading day. Good work fighting here today. For those of you who finished the day green early, you guys did better than me here today. So pat yourself on the back. That's well done. I have to fight a little bit too hard here today, which is generally not how I would like to trade, but happy walking away green and hopefully back to smoother tomorrow. So well done, everybody. And yeah, I'll catch up with a few of you here in our one-on-ones later today. And then we'll be back at it again here tomorrow for what should hopefully be another strong trading day. Peace.